At Arlington National Cemetery, rows of marble stand sentry over generations of service. Etched into every headstone is a unique story, but there are few narratives as wedded to the beauty of devotion as that of John Earl Butler and his wife Margie, who was buried beside her husband of 45 years. They met by happenstance on New Year's Eve 1942 in Chicago, falling quickly in love. But only weeks after these two met, this ace pilot in the Army Air Corps left for one of the war's most dangerous assignments.
My parents were romantic, like a lot of people maybe in the 1940s during the war, and it was their plan to write a letter every day that they were away, and they numbered them and they kept track of things. Those letters
We're at Marcy Forrest's home in Chevy Chase, Maryland, because her parents' remarkable love story recently took an unexpected turn.
This is my little office, the smallest room in the house, but it's where all the magic happens because I'm the
80 boxes of slides and scores of albums. As Marcy likes to say, she is the saver of smiles.
There's nothing that can be more important to your family than your memories.
Well, this family's archivist recently stepped back in time to relive turning points in her lineage, thanks to an incalculable coincidence that unfolded on Nancy Adams' kitchen table 3,000 miles away in Oregon.
God works in mysterious ways. Yes.
In January, Adams found this discarded box of letters near her apartment's trash bin. She called a reporter at our sister station K2 in Portland.
There is a garbage chute in there. I'm surprised they just didn't pick it up and throw it down the chute.
Yeah.
This former member of the military realized that she had found a cache of letters written in the 1940s and 50s.
This one was coming from Chicago, Illinois. It's from Mrs. John E. Butler.
That would be Margie Butler, writing to her husband, who went back then by his middle name, Earl.
My darling Earl. Wow. You could tell she loved him because it's tons and tons and tons of letters.
As it turned out, Margie Butler's son lost his mother's letters during a recent move in Portland.
He was, of course, heartsick, embarrassed, felt guilty, didn't even tell us that they were lost.
I'm kind of feeling excited. Find the family, give the stuff back to them. You know, it just makes me bubbly.
A week later, those letters were in Marcy Forrest's living room in Maryland.
This is the package. It's arrived from Portland.
What she found inside
Great. Okay, that was easy.
included some of the missing pieces of her childhood.
Okay. Wow.
Over the next few hours, Forrest pored over a treasure trove of memories.
My grandmother, great-grandmother.
What was that?
May they be long or short, dull or bright, I'll try my hardest to get a letter out to you every day.
For 12 long years, during wars and conflicts from Europe to Southeast Asia, they penned some 400 letters.
There's Dad, and there's Mom.
During World War II, John Earl Butler flew the infamous Burma hump.
In case of a crash landing, his map was on silk. There's one side of the hump, Upper Burma.
He ferried supplies to the Chinese over the eastern Himalayas, where we lost hundreds of planes and nearly 1,700 lives. For his valor, Butler was twice awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross.
They would send out the planes about, half-hour intervals, and quite often the flight before him and the flight after him never came back.
Butler returned home and started a family that blossomed. A few years later, this new father left again,
November 16th, 1948. Dearest Earl,
This time for missions in the Middle East.
Nicosia, Dhahran.
He would be gone for months.
The day goes by pretty fast, but when that sun goes down, it's like my heart sinks with it, as such a longing for you comes over me. It makes me feel lonesome knowing you won't be coming home for dinner at this time, for a long time.
While Marcy's younger brother was responsible for their mother's letters, she safeguarded her father's correspondence.
What do we got?
So this is all memorabilia I have of my dad's career, their marriage, their love letters, everything. It is a treasure.
75 years after her parents started corresponding, their daughter finally got to reunite those letters.
October 22nd, 1943.
Despite years of travail on the front lines of history,
Now we hear firing almost constantly, day and night here.
this normally quiet man never tired of expressing his love.
I will soon be going to bed to spend another lonely night. I guess I will never get used to going to bed without you in my arms.
Little did Marcy know that by matching up letters, she would find her family's genesis.
She told me that he had proposed to her in a letter.
Bound in these letters, spanning wars, oceans, and generations,
Well, I'm wondering if this isn't that letter that I've been looking for then.
marked the moment her mother and father agreed to share their affection far beyond the written word.
And no matter which way I look at it, I know I would be very happy being married to you. This is it. This is what I was hoping to find. I keep hoping and praying every day that this war will all be over by October and you will be able to come back to me soon.
Marcy Forrest wanted to share one last passage from a letter that is not here. She's reading from a photocopy.
Yes, another week finally crawled by to make a total of 47 since I last held the most wonderful woman in the world in my arms. 47 weeks during which...
It's letter 292, Marcy's most cherished, written during the height of the Second World War.
This letter is with my mother at Arlington. I put it in her hands before they closed the casket.
So we return to Arlington National Cemetery to witness a love timeless and true. John Earl Butler died in 1988 at the age of 70. After his wife passed away in 2010, their children decided to memorialize their parents' enduring commitment. Etched on her headstone, "My dearest Margie," the words that began so many of Butler's letters to his beloved. For ABC 7 Stories, I'm Jay Korf.